WENY News. This is First Warning Weather.
And welcome back. Looking out here in the city of Corning right now, not too bad, mainly just starting to deal with temperatures dropping down through the 80s into the 70s for most of us now, looking at 74 in Corning where we were just at, 72 for Wellsboro, 71 in Elmira, 73 there to the north in Watkins Glen, 68 towards Cayuga Lake and Ithaca, 75 still in Appalachian, a few areas retaining some heat. Overall, most of us stayed in the 80s. Elmira, though, got up to 90. It was more like parts of Williamsport and Scranton got to 93. It was 88 in Wellsboro today, got to 86 in Ithaca, but it looks like temperatures going to be dropping down into the low 80s tomorrow, mid 80s for some. As for satellite radar, really not too much happening. Things have calmed down since they got a bit intense earlier this afternoon. Had a couple thunderstorms roll through, but for the most part seeing less cloud cover now. And we are going to see more of that come in the morning. We're going to see some showers start to fire off there not too long before noon. And temperatures will still be climbing up into the low 80s, but it'll take a little longer to get there. We'll be through the 70s for most of the morning, if not all of it here, headed into tomorrow. We head in the next couple of hours. Here's where some of these showers start to roll in here towards Steuben County, the northwest portions of the viewing area around 8 o'clock, and then more of these start to skirt across the Finger Lakes, and a couple of thunderstorms starting to develop in the early afternoon, continuing to push across the area. We're going to certainly be seeing a little bit more activity tomorrow, and on Friday you could be seeing a couple more thunderstorms too. You could see some higher reflectivity amounts there on the future track moving through, and even as we get into the evening, could see a few more intense thunderstorms start to roll through for our Friday night. So the next couple of days certainly set to be a fairly stormy pair here in the region. Looking like excessive rainfall back on the marginal risk for tomorrow. That also is on the back of a general thunderstorm risk from the Storm Prediction Center. Not necessarily expecting severe thunderstorms, but can't rule them out when you're dealing with thunderstorms in the forecast. In terms of total rain that we could expect, a bit of a mixed bag depending on where you're at, but right now we're looking at about a quarter of an inch, maybe a half inch localized here like you're seeing in places like Sayre, just to the north of Ithaca, and over towards Appalachian. Now, in terms of the best chances of precipitation, mainly going to be happening in the early afternoon towards the late afternoon, 1 to 4 p.m., looking like the sweet spot for some precipitation tomorrow. That's the best time that we're going to be seeing some rain showers come in. Forecasted 87, we hit 94th straight day with a 90-degree high, but we're likely not going to get number 5 tomorrow. Temperature's going to stall out in the low 80s. As for tonight, headed down into the upper 60s. Mild conditions staying with partly cloudy skies here for the rest of the evening. A few more thunderstorms set to close out our week. 83 for Saturday, 85 for Sunday. We can see 90s return to the forecast by Monday. A little bit calmer as we head into the midweek. So certainly expecting to see at least slightly better conditions headed our way for next week. Here's our trivia questions. Talking about some not so great conditions. We had 7 tornadoes confirmed on March 16th earlier this year in Pennsylvania. Now, when was the last time that we had that many tornadoes in the month of March in Pennsylvania? If you said 1976, you'd be correct. Very long time since we've had that. In fact, it was another instance where 7 tornadoes were confirmed on one day, and the 8th was confirmed a few days later.